But moving on to the defensive side of the ball now. Our front seven, our two interior defensive linemen are Jerzon Newton from Illinois and Howard Cross III from Notre Dame. Our two edge defenders are Laiatu Latu from UCLA and Dallas Turner from Alabama. Both of them probably going to be first-round picks in the NFL draft at this rate. And our two linebackers are Peyton Wilson from NC State. And how about this, Dalton? Jason Henderson, man, from Old Dominion. He has been unreal so far this season. But who do you want to highlight in that the front seven that we got there?
I'm actually going to take Laiatu Latu, and this defensive line, looking at it a second time now, is probably the best unit on this entire list.
Yeah.
You've got probably at least three guys who are going to go in the first round, and Cross maybe in the top 50 the way he's playing as well. But Latu, the best defender in the country right now, leads all Power 5 edge rushers in pass rush grade, third among them in pressure rate. He's got 5 sacks. He's forced 3 fumbles. He's even got an interception. He leads an elite defense. UCLA has an elite defense. I could argue the best defense in the Pac-12. This is a year after he was the 8th best edge defender in the country. He would have gone mid to late first round last year. And he's pushing, honestly, it was kind of assumed before that it would be, maybe Jared Verse or possibly Dallas Turner, who's you just mentioned. Also, Latu might go ahead in the draft of all of them. He's just he's so consistent. He's a game wrecker. If you can't, the first thing you have to do when you play UCLA is figure out how to block this guy. And the problem is they have other talent on their defensive line too. He makes impact plays. He's got a high pressure rate. He's got a high motor. There is not much that Latu can't do. And the fact that this year he's turned it up another notch to where he is the highest graded defensive player in the country is insane. I mean, it's going to be hard for me to believe that he'll fall outside the top 15 in this next draft.
Oh, definitely, man. I think Trevor Sikkema had him, number 5 in his mock draft. And his story, man, is so cool. I mean, he literally missed the 2020 and 2021 seasons at Washington because they forced him to medically retire with a neck injury. He transfers to UCLA, gets cleared by their doctors, was unreal last year. And like you said, I mean, he has been the best defensive player in college football this year, man. So hopefully the medicals check out at the combine and all that. But because if they do, I mean, he could be pushing for a top 5, top 10 pick, man. He has been that special. The guy I want to go with, one of my favorite interviews I've ever done, man, is Jerzon Newton, who is still actually a fan of the show. He watches sometimes and, he reads a lot of the stuff that we put out. So he is awesome, man. He has been, last year, he was one of the best interior defensive linemen in the country. This year, I'd say he has been the best interior defensive lineman in the country. You see right there, leads the nation in pressures for interior defensive linemen. He's 2nd in run defense stops, and he's 6th in pass rush win rate. In that interview that we have with Jerzon Newton, he told me the reason he came back to school was because he wanted to be a first-round pick. He looked at mock drafts all the time, did not see himself in the top 2 rounds. He said, that's not good enough, man. I'm coming back to school. He said he wanted to be, he's from the Florida area, another defensive tackle from Florida, Jalen Carter. He saw how he was talked about. He says, man, that's how I want to be talked about. Now, I don't know if it'll be the prospect that Jalen Carter was, but man, Jerzon Newton has been unfreaking believable over these last 2 years. Friend of the show as well, but there's no bias honestly needed for this because he has been one of the best defensive tackles in college football, man. So big shout out to Jerzon Newton, man. You keep killing it, man, because he has been unbelievable.